manga began with a girl named Tatsu, who had a scar on her face, petting a cat and expressing her hatred towards humans. As she fed the cat, she remarked that it was tiny and needed to eat often. Suddenly, someone called out to her, asking her where she was, and she gasped in fright. It was her master. When Tatsu was 5 years old, she was sold by her parents. The family that bought her resided in a large house on a mountain. Her master asked where she had been and instructed her to come quickly. Every single day of Tatsu's life was horrible. When she met her master, he scolded her for slacking off, striking her repeatedly with his belt, and she curled up on the floor, apologizing profusely. As she was being beaten, the master's children sat down, enjoying their meal. The master's daughter pleaded with her father to stop the beating, not wanting to hear Tatsu's filthy voice while she ate. She further insulted Tatsu, saying she looked like a monster and saying that if she had such a hideous face she wouldn't want to live. With a smile, she suggested that Tatsu would be better off dead. To Tatsu, it seemed that she was not considered human by her masters. On another occasion, the eldest son held Tatsu down and gagged her, saying that her scar must be lonely. As Tatsu shivered in fright, he took a knife to her face and said that he would give her a makeover, and then he slit her cheek. As he did so, Tatsu screamed in agony. The eldest son and the second son discussed the cut, with the eldest son pleased with the sharpness of the knife and the second son complaining that the cut was too shallow and that he wanted to cut her too. Tatsu wondered why such cruelty happened to her alone. In a fit of rage, she stabbed the eldest son with a piece of wood. As the second son screamed in fright at what had just happened, she used a pitchfork to finish him off. That night, Tatsu decisively killed both sons, and she sighed in relief after it was done. Looking at the house, she decided to eliminate the rest of the family. She entered her master's daughter's room, and as she slept, Tatsu decisively slit her throat. As the daughter struggled, Tatsu held her down with a pillow until she stopped moving. As the master's daughter struggled, Tatsu found it odd that despite the daughter always calling her a monster, their blood had the same color. Tatsu then went to her master's room, and as he slept, she smashed his head with a vase. At that moment, she realized that they were all monsters. After burying the bodies, Tatsu looked at the moon and thought that she should have killed them all along. Years passed, and Tatsu lived alone in the house and no one harmed her anymore. However, one night she spotted someone outside. Hiding behind a tree, Tatsu wondered if the person had wandered in by mistake. As she sneaked up behind the intruder, she decided that she would end the person's life before she could get hurt. But when she swung her knife, the intruder, a beautiful girl, looked at her, and Tatsu released the knife at the last minute, punching the girl instead. The punch knocked the girl out cold. Tatsu wondered what she was doing as she looked at the unconscious girl. When the girl woke up, she found herself tied up in Tatsu's house. For the first time since Tatsu wiped out the family, there was someone else in the house. Tatsu asked the girl if she couldn't speak, but the girl didn't answer. Tatsu wondered if the girl was so afraid of how she looked that she couldn't speak. Instead, the girl smiled, which confused Tatsu. Tatsu grabbed the girl's arm, pulled her up, and asked her why she was laughing. After Tatsu punched her, the girl fell, and Tatsu kicked her, telling her never to look at her and laugh. As Tatsu pulled the girl up by her hair, the girl covered her face and whimpered. Tatsu remembered when she was beaten and she apologized, begging for forgiveness. As she looked at the girl, she saw herself and realized that was how she had felt. Tatsu smiled, finding it amusing. Tatsu started getting bored staying in the house all alone, and since the girl didn't seem to speak and she was quiet, Tatsu found the girl to be a good way to pass time, so she subjected her to various forms of abuse. She punched, kicked, and starved the girl and waited only until the last minute before feeding her. She made the girl go through all the misery that she went through. She didn't let the girl bathe, and because of that, she became filthy and soiled, with a horrible odor. When Tatsu pulled the girl's face closer to hers, she commented on the girl's dirtiness. The girl tried to touch Tatsu's scar, but Tatsu stopped her and hit her, causing the girl to pass out. As Tatsu walked away, she recalled the times she was beaten, kicked, and starved. The master's daughter's words echoed in her mind, calling her ugly and dirty, saying that she could never be washed clean. Her master's daughter's voice told her that the girl's eyes were beautiful and that no matter what Tatsu did, the girl would never ever be like her. She told Tatsu that the best thing a monster like her can do is to die. Then she laughed at Tatsu over and over again. Tatsu smashed a mirror which had her master's daughter's reflection on it, and as her hand bled, She struggled to catch her breath. Later, the girl woke up to find herself untied, with a knife in front of her. She immediately left the room, staggering as she supported herself against the walls. She eventually found Tatsu's room and walked in, seeing Tatsu sleeping. When the girl walked closer to the bed, she began arranging Tatsu's cover so she wouldn't feel cold. Tatsu woke up, grabbed the girl, and pinned her down, putting a knife to her throat. She asked the girl what she was doing and why she didn't run away since her rope was severed or stab her using the opportunity. Tatsu wondered why the girl didn't ever fight back, especially when she was in pain and when she was hungry. She said that the girl should hate her and want her dead for all she put her through. But the girl didn't answer, she just stared at Tatsu. Tatsu put the knife to her own throat, feeling that everything about her was ugly and that she was better off dead. She called herself a monster, but the girl grabbed her hand, trying to take the knife away. But Tatsu didn't let go. She told the girl to let go and get off her. Eventually, she slammed the girl into the bed and froze when she noticed the girl crying. The girl slowly stretched out her hand and touched Tatsu's scar. Tatsu realized that the more she had hurt the girl, the more she came to realize just how different both of them are. She felt like the girl was taunting her. And because of that, she was continuously reminded of just how terribly ugly she is. No matter how much she punched the girl or pushed her away or looked at her coldly, the girl's hands and eyes radiated with kindness, and that terrified Tatsu. But despite all that, Tatsu wanted to be touched by the girl's kind hands. As Tatsu went closer to the girl, she asked the girl if she was afraid of her. The girl shook her head, meaning no. Tatsu told the girl that she was a strange one, because she looked at her, smiled at her, cried because of her, and she still touched her. It was her first time meeting someone like that. As Tatsu rubbed her face against the girl's hand, she said that the girl was warm. Tatsu wondered if the human body was always that warm. And as she enjoyed her warmth, she asked the girl to touch her more. The girl remembered when she was a cat and how Tatsu touched her gently and shared what little food she had with her. And since that time, whenever Tatsu was all alone, the girl always wanted to be by her side. The girl found Tatsu's hands and body warm, and she thought that Tatsu could never be a monster. As the girl and Tatsu lay side by side, the girl thought that everything was okay. After all, Tatsu was a human,